Here's something most people don't know. The most famous argument against the papacy, the one about the Greek words, actually proves the Catholic position. Let me show you exactly what Jesus said and what it means. In Matthew chapter 16, Jesus asks his disciples, "Who do you say that I am?" Simon steps up and answers, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." And Jesus responds, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father in heaven. And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not prevail against it." Now some people say, wait, Jesus used two different Greek words. He called Simon Petros, but then said he'd build on Petra. Petros means a small stone, and Petra means a big rock, so Jesus was contrasting Peter with something bigger. But here's the thing, Jesus didn't speak Greek, he spoke Aramaic. And in Aramaic, he used the same word both times. The word is Kepha. You can actually see this in John chapter 1, verse 42, where Jesus first gives Simon this name. Jesus said, "You are to be called Cephas," and then John adds right there in the text, which is translated Peter. The footnote in the NRSVCE confirms that both Cephas in Aramaic and Petra in Greek come from the same word meaning rock. So what Matthew actually preserved in Greek was a pun. Jesus said, "You are rock, and on this rock I will build my church." The reason Matthew used two slightly different Greek forms is simply because Petra does not work as a man's name in Greek. That is it. That is the whole explanation. And that's not just the Catholic position. Even Protestant scholars like D.A. Carson and Baptist scholar Craig Keener agree that Petros and Petra were interchangeable by Jesus' day, and that Jesus intended to name Peter as the rock. Then Jesus goes even further. He hands Peter the keys of the kingdom of heaven. That imagery comes straight from Isaiah chapter 22, verse 22. "I will place on his shoulder the key of the house of David. He shall open, and no one shall shut. He shall shut, and no one shall open." In the Old Testament, the man who held the keys held authority over the whole kingdom. Jesus is giving that role to Peter. This is what Jesus actually said, in the language he actually spoke. Share this with someone who has questions about the papacy, and follow for more Catholic content that goes straight to the source.